friends, welcome back, or welcome if you are new here to my channel. My name is Caroline. I like to do knitting, crocheting and all other types of crafts on my channel, and this is a pattern roundup video. I'm currently in the process of destashing my stash, and with that obviously comes quite a lot of scraps, and therefore I'm always on the lookout for nice scrappy projects. I don't know about you, but I am balling on a budget, so these will all be free patterns. They will also all be knitting patterns. If you are interested in a crochet pattern version of this video, then do feel free to let me know and I will see what I can do for you. These are all going to be garment patterns, so if you are interested in some free scrappy patterns, then do keep on watching and let's get into it. The first pattern is going to be a pattern that I also discussed in my previous scrap pattern video, but it's just really good and it's free, so it belongs in here. I am talking about the Mina sweater. This is a sweater pattern by Cecilia Lalaine and Gabriella Calderini. I will butcher names in this video, I am so sorry. I will also be putting on pictures on the screen so you can read along with me. If I'm looking down, that's because I'm looking at my little notes. This is a sweater pattern. It is made with worsted yarn and it has 8 different sizes. I just think this looks really neat, and seeing what everyone has done with this particular pattern, like the different versions, is really fun. So I definitely recommend looking into the projects of every one of these patterns that I will mention, because the fun thing about scrappy projects is that they can have so many different outcomes, and I always really like to look at other people's projects to maybe get a bit of inspiration and ideas, and I think this sweater is stunning in so many different ways. Then the second sweater is also an all-over colorwork sweater. It's a bit more of a traditional colorwork sweater, and it is the Dorothea sweater by Marianne Nurbo. This is a DK weight sweater, so this could be really fun for your fingering weight scraps, how double, or just any I mean, I'm very much a DK weight sweater maker, so I have lots of DK weight scraps from sweaters as well. But it's fun with this one is that you can also just use your fingering weight held double, which I think most of the scraps people have is fingering, at least for me, because like sock yarn, and I don't use a full skein of sock yarn to make socks, so I definitely have a lot of fingering weight scraps, so that's would be fun for this one. It has 7 different sizes. It comes in, and yeah, I think this is just fun. I think their like first sample is kind of wintry, kind of Christmassy in a way, but their second sample is very different and definitely just kind of more traditional looking color work. Then the next sweater I wanted to give some attention to is the fall sweater by Courtney Kelly. This sweater has been on my little list for quite a while. It's a sport weight sweater. It has 6 different sizes, and I think this is just a very fun sweater to use your scraps with. Like, you could even just do every row in a different color and I still think that would look good, but if you have some more of certain colors, you can also obviously divide it more evenly like they did in the sample. But yeah, I do really like this sweater, and I think if you did every row in a different color, that would be kind of sick. Someone needs to do this, and that someone might be me in the future. Then call me crazy, but this is one of the sweaters that I am thinking of making with my fingering weight scrap yarn. And you might call me crazy because it's a fingering weight sweater, but it's not just a fingering weight sweater, it's a Fair sweater. Fair all the way down, across the sleeves even. I just think this looks sick. It's the Finch Fair sweater by Mary Wellen. Again, a fingering weight sweater. It has 5 sizes, and honestly, original sample, not my favorite, but this is one of those sweaters that I really like the projects of, and I don't know, I just think they all look pretty awesome. Yeah, I think especially like the scrappier this pattern looks, the more I like it, and yeah, this one is kind of on my list. I haven't bit the bullet yet because I'm kind of scared, but I do really like the way this one looks, so I might make this one in the future, but also don't quote me on that because it's a lot. Another scrappy fun pattern is the On Repeat Pullover by Yarnspirations Design Studio. This is an Aran weight sweater. It has 6 sweaters. I just think this is fun. Little blocky pattern. The fun thing about this one is that you can definitely make every row a different color, but I also think you can play around with different quantities of yarns that go together well. Then the next pattern is the Petra sweater by Sanne Bjerregaard. I think this is fun because it uses different stitches in every color. Like it changes stitches type, and with the stitches type you can change the color. And I don't know, I think this is just a fun way to work with different colors in a project. And you are also at the same time experimenting with texture, which I think is fun. You can do it as in the sample with, I think this is like 5 different colors maybe, but you can also do literally every row in a different color. So it's very adjustable to what you have in your stash. And I think this one is very fun. I saw one that's kind of like a blue turquoisey version, and I really dig that one. All right, then we go to, I think, one of the ultimate scrappy projects, and this is the Around the World sweater by Carmen Norison. It's a fingering weight sweater, so really good for those fingering weight scraps again. This has sizes extra small through 5XL. It has so many sizes. It has 16 sizes. That's insane, especially for a free pattern. That's really good. And I mean, this is once again one that if you have only very small amounts of a color, you can integrate it in the sleeve, and every row can be a different color, and I think that's so fun and perfect for literally any scrap you have. So yeah, honestly I like most of the projects that are on here, so this is one that I also think you can't really go wrong with, which is fun. Alright, so this one really reminds me of the Spot Sweater by Anne Vansel, which is a great scrap project, but that one is paid, so I'm not including it in this video, but this one reminds me a lot of it, and this one is free. It's got the Color Vibes by Thea Vesterby. It is made with fingering weight yarn, and it has 7 sizes. The little dots remind me of the Spot Sweater, and this again is one that I think you can use different quantities of yarn in. I mean, all of these are kind of scrappy, so you can do whatever you want really. But yeah, this one really reminded me of the Spot Sweater, so I just wanted to share that one in case you really like the Spot Sweater but don't have the funds or resources. I think this is a good little alternative. I don't know, it reminded me of it. So then we have the Jacquard Vest by Louisa Lowe. It is a sport weight yarn vest. It has only 3 sizes. This is an all over Colorwork sweater vest, kind of more traditional looking, but once again I think if with sweaters and sweater vests like these, you can really play with every row being different. So every Colorwork repeat having like a different yarn, I think that's really fun, and I quite like this Colorwork in particular. Then I did want to put in one of those very scrappy looking projects. So far they've all kind of looked kind of cohesive. This is definitely a scrappy project pattern, and it's got the Hot Scrap Fest by Dana Kikik Nemert. I'm sorry, I'm very much butchering all these names. I'm trying my best. This is a super bulky weight vest. It has 7 sizes, and this is one of those patterns you use all your different scrappy yarns with held together and like alternating, and it gives this really nice effect. There's tons of different combinations of yarns, like 2 times fingering with 2 times lace weight, or 1 times DK with 2 times lace weight, or etc, etc. And I think this one will walk you through how to exactly get that like scrappy vibe pattern, which you can in turn use in different patterns. Like if you want this scrappy technique in a sweater, you can download this pattern for free or go to the website, I think, and then you can use that for literally any other pattern you may have. So I think this is a fun one to really get scrappy. Then I have the merino wool neck warmer, which is the only accessory in this list because I just really like this, and this is a really fun technique to use the scraps with, and this is once again one that you can use for different things if you know how to do it. So this pattern is by Sarah Rinbach. It is in worsted weight yarn. It has a 1 size, but it's an accessory, so that makes a lot of sense, and I think it just looks really fun. This would also be quite a quick project, I imagine, so it might be a nice little present as well. I don't know if you're into that kind of stuff. And then next up I have the multicolor slip stitch cardigan by Deborah Newton. This is a sport weight cardigan. It has 6 sizes, and this is once again a fun project where you it's kind of patchworky in a way. It has different color sections. It does have the same stitch all over, but it just changes colors, and I don't know, I think it's fun. This might not be a pattern I would necessarily make myself, but I do think this is a good scrappy project, and maybe some of you do like this one a lot. Alright, next up I have the Loopy Stripe Cardi by Loopy Studios. You have probably heard of this one before, or seen it before, because it's quite rampant in the social media sphere at the moment, but this is a free pattern by Loopy Studios. It uses Aran weight yarn, and it has 3 different sizes, and it just looks really fun. And I've seen this so many times in so many different ways, and I could not include it in this video. I had to, but you've probably already seen it before. Okay, we're almost there. This is the multimedia cardigan. This is kind of similar to the previous multicolor slips cardigan I mentioned, but I would probably make this version instead if I were to make something like that. Very much patchworky, but every patchwork section has a different texture as well, and I just think this one looks really fun. I don't love the sleeves on this, but you can obviously alter that, or if you don't mind the sleeves, you can obviously keep the sleeves as they are. I think this is a very fun one, and the fun thing about these patchwork types of sweaters is that you can also alter them a little bit. If you don't have enough yarn to make this full patchwork section, you can just move on to the next one, because it's already like quite scrappy and patchworky. And then this is kind of like an honorable mention. There are many different versions of these. The OG patchwork scrappy cardigan, which, fun fact, this is actually how I started crocheting, because of this one. And that's the Color Block Patchwork Cardigan by J.W. Anderson. Or honestly, if you type up patchwork cardigan in Ravelry and select free, you get tons of these. I particularly really like the Livestock Cardigan by Wool and the Gang, which is a bulky weight bulky weight cardigan, and it has 4 sizes. Because it's bulky weight, you can also play with holding different types of yarns together to make it even more scrappy. I just really like the oversizedness and the v-neck on this one, but you have many different types of patchwork types of cardigans. Maybe it's time to go back to our roots. Yeah, those are all the scrappy free patterns I have for you today. I hope you liked them, or that they gave you some inspiration to dive into your stash and whip up something scrappy and fun. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you want the crochet version of this video. Let me know which is your favorite pattern that I talked about today, or if I missed a pattern you're like, how did you miss this? Include it now. Let me know. Subscribe if you haven't yet and you want to see more of me. You can also follow me on Instagram, on Ravelry, or on Threadloop. And I guess with that out of the way, I will see you guys tomorrow.